You've been trying to ask God, why did you let this happen to me? God said he let it happen to you so that people could see that what you've been through should have killed you. But when they saw you survive, it was a sign that you were not in that thing by yourself.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Calma de la Narcissist, the Narc Karma. My name is John. Please hit like and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about, and if you don't, please leave your 2 cents down there and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so let me go ahead and at least get started with today's topic, or what I at least want to touch on. And what I really want to touch on is pretty much it's the narcissist and how much they're related to a con artist, and what is a con artist. I'll go ahead and explain that for you. But before I go ahead and touch on that subject, what I want to share something with you in regards to what I've learned was, when you meet someone or when you're meeting people, and if there is something you dislike about them and you really haven't even got to know them yet, usually that's a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of what you think. And the reason is because you're starting to see your own reflection in the mirror. You see your own self there. I wanted to touch on that. So, and like I was mentioning before, was about a con artist and what exactly it is they do. And the example I'm going to give, at least, is with my narc. And what I noticed with my narc was because, well, ever since you started working for this particular company, and it was youth, and that's where I kind of felt bad with, because, and I know she's up there though. And she works with kids, and so ever since she started working with that company, it went downhill. And what I noticed was a reason why was because I never really had the chance to meet any of the coworkers, because she never allowed me. She never really let me go around.
Oh my God, you're making me want to preach this morning. You see, if you understand what I'm saying,
there is where a lot of the problems started. A lot of the things, because they started, leaving at night. They started working, knock. They started working in different shifts, and it was just never. I never had a clear answer of what was going on between us. And what I was realizing, that's the thing, is that she would talk about her coworker a lot. And he was gonna get married and such and yada yada yada. And then all of a sudden, she stopped talking about him. And once she stopped talking about him, now that I know what I know, something happened there. Something must have went on. Something partook. Why? Because she stopped talking about the person. I brought him up again. And then from there is where I started being compared. I was already being devalued. I was already being talked down to. And that was the first thing that I told her, was the first day. Stop comparing me to someone else. Stop doing that. And she was shocked and surprised that I knew that. How do you know that I'm doing that? That's when I started becoming aware of, because I always thought that I was going to be irreplaceable. I thought I was her one and only, and blah, blah, yada, 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 what these narcs tell you. So when I was living with the narc, she didn't want me to go and blab my mouth. What she was afraid of was this. So when I was being discarded, or when I was understand why. So now, fast forward, at least to what I had seen, or at least to what partook, was this. They stopped talking to people around here, from the Boyle Heights, East LA area. They were using them and were throwing people under the bus, literally throwing people under the bus, in the sense of either having them text me, having them call me, or reach out to me as a flying monkey to give away their location or their parameters or whatever it was, for me to go ahead and just act like a damn maniac, act like a damn insane buffoon. Because why? Because in my mind then, I still thought we were taking a break, because the way I was discarded was, you're crazy, you're local.
Rather than to defend yourself,
what puzzled me, what took me, was I'm trying. I really am trying. The thing was that I was never going to win. The goalpost kept on moving back and back, and it was always never a resolution.
Doing what he's doing, and over time.
Or she was trying. Another thing that my narc didn't like what I was doing was, for example, she was like, "I love you." And I'm like, "No, you don't." And she's like, "Johnny, I love you." I'm like, "No, you don't. I already know you don't. People don't do this shit if they're in love." And that's when she would get mad, because what she was trying to do, or now that I see, contradict myself in my own head of you love me, you don't. You love me, you don't. Which is a hot code, which will fuck you up. It will mess you up in the head. It will mess up your psyche. And like I mentioned, what the key is at that time, or at that point, is for you to second guess your gut instinct. For you not to know, it's to confuse you more than what it really was. So I just wanted to touch on that, guys. So like I said, if you are from this area, be careful, because they're not gonna already doing bigger and better things. So con artist is because when you meet the type of individual, pathological envy, and that's exactly what it is. They envy what you have and what you want. They want to grab it. They want to take it without any type. If it's an asset to the family being passed on, they want to take it from you because they feel entitled. They feel, I went through shit, I went through this, and you haven't. So, you know, they see you as a spoiled person or a spoiled kid or someone who doesn't appreciate things. But they don't realize, who are they to judge? Who are they to be? I don't understand. Well, I understand it, but it's just hard to comprehend. So if you hear me say I don't understand it, what I mean by it is it's hard to comprehend. But once you rebobble it and tune into the right station, you're gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about. Intentions in the beginning were not right. They were not, justified. I was being just like them. I was being converted just like they wanted me to, because understand what they want to do to you. What they want to do is torture you. It is, or how much aggression they have toward you, or hatred. Because remember, they hate you. They, deep down inside, they hate you. They don't like you at all. Why? Because you woke up, you've seen it, and you're not reflecting back that bullshit up there anymore. You're not reflecting it anymore. It's all caca. So con artist is because when you meet the type of individual, they come out to you as in like they're all helping and wanting, and they want to go ahead and do everything for you. But in reality, they want you to hand over everything. Why I notice why they want you to hand over everything, and what I mean by everything is paying the bills, be in charge of the money, pretty much, like being in charge, like, oh, just give me the cash, and you give them the cash, they pay the bills, they'll do the laundry, they'll cook, they'll do a lot of things for you, so you start to depend on them, because like, okay, they're doing this, they're doing that. So when they leave you, you're left as in like, what the fuck, how do I do this, how do I do that, because you already conditioned a certain way of how to behave and react. So remember, guys, when these people meet you, they're just like con artists. They're meeting you with an agenda, with a hidden agenda that you don't know about, that they're gonna either extract, whatever it may be, and they'll even sleep with you, be with you, or manipulate you, or get you as a friend, just because you live by their job, just because they don't want to be in the freeway, just because they can get a discount at 15% at Disneyland, or whatever it is. That's how dumb it is. Like they're desperate people. The reason why I say that is because when you meet a narcissist, they already have something in mind, what they're gonna do. They already know what they're gonna extract from you. You've already been through the interview. If they're already talking to you, flirting with you, they're going out of their way to try to win you over, because that's what they do. And what I've noticed, what they do a lot is they play the, like I mentioned, we all know that they play the victim role. They come out as what do they call them, a martyr, or one of those people that doesn't do anything wrong. So when you approach them, people who have empathy, or at least people who care about an individual or other individuals, they'll take into consideration, because the mask they wear is very, very, it's very well acted. They know what they're doing. So the same thing with a con artist. They already know what they're doing. They already have their objective in mind. They already know what they're going to go in for. So with that said, to the covert narc in this case, or the con artist, you want to call them, the con artist, they know what you want to hear. They know what you want to be displayed. Because like I mentioned, any healthy person they could still fall victim to this, but it's going to be a little more difficult, a little more harder. And the reason being is because you have healthy boundaries. And when you have healthy boundaries, those red flags will come up. So like I said, they come out as the martyrs, like the ones that, been victimized. You as an empath, or you with your, with you feeling bad for them, you side with them because you know them. But one thing that I do want to mention is always two sides to a story. So, there you go. So this is one that I did see, or I did notice, was because with my narc, she used to work for this, or works, or not. And that's the sad part, is they work with children, with the troubled youth. And it sucks, because I remember once when I was living with her, she had came home and she had mentioned she had a problem with one of the clients, I guess what it was, or yeah, it had to be. And I asked her, I'm like, what happened, what's going on? And she mentioned, like, no, she gave me her 2 cents of the story. Yeah, she doesn't listen to me, she challenges me, And I don't like that. And I'm like, well, they are troubled youth, and you have to be more patient with them. You know, not everyone's going to listen. And once I told, and that was so, she took offense to it. And how do I know she took offense to it? I'm like, well, no, no, narc. I go, it's not that. It's just, you're out of mind. They're not. They've been through it. And she felt, I see, upset because I was siding with the other person. So once they tell you a story, play devil's advocate. Just side with the other person and see what happens. You're gonna see. And if they're aware of this, then they're gonna play it off, but just keep it going, and you're gonna see how it irritates them. You're gonna see how it bothers them. And believe it or not, though, but I'm not encouraging you to do this, but if you want to test the waters and see, because you don't know what type of narcissist you're dealing with. And what I'm realizing is these narcissists, they go from overt to covert in a heartbeat, and they flip-flop, they switch depending on what state or who they're dating or illusion of bullshit that they're in. So,
Who thought he was a murderer?
Just do not prolong your development. Do not prolong your growth like I have. I know I have prolonged my growth. I know that I've been doing the wrong things when I shouldn't have been doing it. That's something else I just wanted to share. So I hope you guys are having a good day, guys. I'll see you guys later. Just keep it going. Love you guys, and talk to you guys later, man. Bye.
Sometimes God will use people in the world, people who don't even speak your language, people from the other side of the tracks, to bless you and just keep on gathering the wood. Now watch. In the process of gathering the wood, Paul, same people who curse you one moment will say Hosanna the next moment. But you got to maintain your focus and keep on doing what God told you to do.